people that we meet on the Flame conferences have been traumatized. That is, they have very deep emotional wounds, usually as the result of years of civil war, although it may be because of extreme abuse within the family. Many people have been kidnapped and forced to work as child soldiers. Many women have seen their children and their husbands tortured, mutilated, and killed, and many women, of course, have also been killed. We've heard stories of pregnant women whose unborn babies have been cut out of their wombs. And we need to listen to these stories with very deep compassion and not to flinch as we try to bring that deep, deep healing of Jesus into these traumatic memories. There is very much a culture of hopelessness and fear in many places. And in spite of this, there is the tendency to try to put a lid on deep emotions rather than allowing for them to come up and be healed. In some places, other organisations have done really wonderful work, especially with children, to try and encourage them to draw the traumas that they've witnessed. And all this is very good, but of course there is also the additional need for the healing of the spirit. Now, when somebody has been traumatized, one of the things that very often happens is that part of the soul and the spirit is, as it were, trapped in the trauma. That part of the soul and the spirit which is trapped is, as Isaiah says, cut off from the land of the living, and conventional prayer ministry does not seem to reach it. It seems to bypass it completely. And when this happens, we need to ask Jesus to reach right down and to draw up that traumatized part. And then, when the traumatized part has come to the surface, then we can pray in the love and the compassion of Jesus. We need to remember that there is this concept of mass trauma, and that people who haven't been directly involved in traumatic incidents may nevertheless be extremely traumatized. You'll find that most traumatized people have very little facial expression. It may be difficult to help them get in touch with their emotions, and very often trauma is described in physical terms. So people may come to you and complain of a headache, or a stomachache, or chest pains, or back pains. And these, of course, will be very real physical pains, but they may also be symptomatic of the deep trauma within. So while praying for them to be healed of the physical pain, we'll also need to pray for them to be healed of the deep trauma, which is probably the underlying cause of this pain. Trauma ministry is not a short-term fix. We've seen wonderful changes in people, but I think very often we have to trust and see Jesus doing part of the work in someone's life. We just have to trust that there are going to be other people who will complete this work, and trust that God, who began a good work in them, will bring it to completion. One other aspect of trauma we may feel led to pray for is in the area of the brain, a physical aspect. When somebody has been deeply traumatized, part of the brain actually shuts off, and some of the brain cells die. Now we know now that brain cells can be regenerated, but you may feel led, as you pray for traumatized people, to pray for the brain to be healed, for the cells to grow up again, and for the synapses to be, as it were, healed and restored. It is a wonderful ministry, and although it's sometimes hard work, expect the miraculous, and you will see it. And when you see the people that you're praying for begin to laugh or smile or cry, then you will know that God is doing a deep work within them, and that is hugely rewarding, both for them and also for you.